Business Spotlight from Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon. Sponsored by Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce. Join over 1,000 delegates at Uttoxeter Racecourse on the 9th of October for the Let's Do Business Expo by booking your free ticket today.
I'm Sonia Farrell. This is Business Spotlight in partnership with Cross Rhythms City Radio and Baba Baboon. Joining me in the studio this week, we've got the dynamic duo, the team from the Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce, marketing manager Tom Hammersley, and head of events and facilities is Kelly Edwards. Hello, Tom and Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Sonia. Not too bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You okay, Kelly?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. Thank you so much here on Business Spotlight. And we're here to talk about one thing really, in particular, and that is one of the biggest, the flagship event of the year for the Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce, Let's Do Business, taking place at Uttoxeter Racecourse this year on the 9th of October. So what is Let's Do Business, first of all? What is it all about, and why should businesses really be attending this year?
I'll let you take it first.
Let me go first. So Let's Do Business is Staffordshire's biggest expo. I think it's actually one of the only expos that happens across Staffordshire. It's grown and grown over the past years. Actually, this year is our 20th anniversary.
Wow.
So it started in 2005. And we've got our biggest number of stands this year. So 167 exhibitors in total across 3 separate locations, along with our keynote speakers taking place in the marquee. So, over 1,000 people that usually come through the door. It's a massive expo within the Staffordshire region.
And what time does it actually open, the expo? What time are people expected to arrive?
So people can just come and drop in and out throughout the day, but predominantly it's 10 till 4.
10 till 4. And then everybody goes home for a rest, do they?
Yeah, long sleep.
Yeah, well needed, isn't it?
Well-needed rest.
And then if somebody is exhibiting actually at the expo, you know, what can they, if they've never done it before, what are the benefits of an actual business or organisation actually exhibiting at the expo?
I suppose, from my perspective, obviously, you're getting your business in front of 1,000 people in one day.
Yeah.
And these are Staffordshire businesses. They're not sort of up and down the country. It's quite concentrated in that sense. And I think the other thing is it's a really sector mix. There's all sorts of businesses there. We've got like Moddershall Oaks are on a stand next to Cyberkiln.
Yeah.
So a real good mix of businesses. So you're not just meeting potential customers, but you've got suppliers and partners all in the same room. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to spotlight your business, really.
And, I've been to the expo for the last few years. I always go. I always say that, in all honesty, I'm only going to go for a few hours. I haven't got time. And I end up being there because I do get pulled in. And like you say, having the conversations,
that's it,
the networking opportunities. But I noticed last year, when you just mentioned the different organisations or different businesses are actually exhibiting this year, last year I noticed the New Vic, New Vic Theatre, first time ever.
Yeah, and they're back again this year.
Yeah, back again this year, and we've got the region as well and Victoria Hall. So it's really nice that as we've added the additional stands, we can really, tap into that business to business, but also business to consumer as well. We have a little bit of everything there. Like Tom mentioned, you've got Moddershall Oaks, Cyberkiln, Paragon Group, Michelin, some of the really big players in the local area, as well as the smaller businesses. The expo allows us to kind of shine a spotlight on every size business. It doesn't matter your size or how many employees you have, there's a room for everyone at Let's Do Business.
And if you're coming to attend, if you're just coming to visit, like I've done before, if you've never been before, what is it that you are, expected to see? One, when you first arrive, and 2, how to navigate the expo? Because I know it's quite a large sort of, venue.
It's a big space, yeah. Well, the first thing I'd say is delegate tickets are free, so go and boot them, make the most of it. There's 3 halls this year, so we've got A, B and C. C's upstairs, and then we've also got the guest speaker element that we've not yet spoken about, but we've got 3 brilliant guest speakers lined up for the day.
Well, while you mention it, let's go for it, Tom. Who are the guest speakers?
So we've got headline speaker is Mo Chowdhury. I think it's fair to say he's one of Staffordshire's best recognised entrepreneurs. He's got a great story to tell. He recently sold Waterworld, which is a story that we broke in Daily Focus. So can't wait to hear from him. We've got Nathan Heaney joining us, so obviously a real Staffordshire champion, if you like. He's going to talk about the insights into his sporting life, the psychology around the fights. And then the final speaker is Meg Bowyer. So Meg was captain of Stoke City Ladies for about 10, 11 years. Stoke won the treble with her. She helped the team go semi-pro, so she's got a great story. But beyond football, she's retired now. She's working in sort of rehabilitation, so people that have left prison. She's helping offenders, really helping the community in that sense. And I suppose the three sort of speakers are linked by the fact that they're champions of the area, and they have real insights into top level performance. So I think, as a trio, they should work quite well. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, and from what you just mentioned there, the variety of speakers, like you say, whether it's Mo Chowdhury or Meg or, Nathan Heaney, boxer and everything, from the different fields that they have been experts in and in what they do. I suppose if you're going to be sitting in and listening to these speakers, it's quite a bit of a, not only inspiration, but also educational as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the last few years we've had Jill Scott, was an absolutely brilliant one. We managed to book her, didn't we? What was the story? Was that just before she went in the jungle?
Literally, I think the week before she went in the jungle.
The
straight after the
jungle.
Euros, yeah. I think when we tried to book her, it was kind of touch and go whether we'd actually get her because of her diary at that time, but we got her at the right time and she was just incredible.
Yeah, she's really good, really good. And then I think Jonathan Walters, was that last year now?
Last year, yeah. In the afternoon.
He hadn't really done many talks like that before. Obviously, great for me to hear, being a Stoke fan.
Yeah.
But I think, were you there, Sonia?
I was.
Really
Jonathan Walters was outstanding.
Yeah.
Not being biased, he was.
Yeah, exactly. He was, the things that he talked about, really emotional. I think there's a few damp eyes in the room, to be fair. But it's them sort of insights, they're lived experiences and they're all local as well, so it's great to hear.
And relatable.
Yeah.
Everybody, like you say, everybody's human. That's what I always say. Everybody's human. Everyone's got a story to tell and a story to share. And I think as well, when you're seeing someone who's quite influential, whether it's in the business or the sporting community, and they do speak at these events as well, somebody who's sitting there listening can say, oh, gosh, yeah, that was me. Or that sounds like me or my friend. And it can hit something which you might not expect when you attend an expo.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's loads of areas where you can be relatable, and that's what we try and aim for. Is it's not necessarily, going to be a big business speaker, but it's like you say, we've done a few sporting ones now, but they're kind of relatable and it all translates, and it's just kind of like, just because it's not in your industry does not mean that you're not going to be able to relate to that person in some way or another. Like Tom mentioned, there was lots of damp eyes in that room. Like everyone could relate in some ways, or different people in different ways, for how it might have affected Tom might have been different to somebody else. But yeah, the feedback we had from last year was incredible from those talks.
Definitely, 100%. And then just going back to, again, a business who is exhibiting, obviously you're going to get brand awareness, but what other opportunities is there as well? Like you say, you're going to be 1,000 visitors could be coming through the door, which you could potentially be speaking to. But what other opportunities might come about from the Let's Do Business Expo?
It's probably one of them where you get what you make from it. And I think one thing that you mentioned is it's often the conversations that you overhear or just these things that you pick up just by speaking to someone where it leads to something where you never thought it could. So obviously you've got your quite traditional networking opportunities, but it's just speaking to people and having everyone in the same room, which is really good.
It's almost like bringing the community together in one place.
Yeah, 100%. It's I was saying this morning at a networking event that it's the one and only time you see so many businesses all in the same place at the same time, because we're all very busy. When do you ever get that? Everyone will be months and months up to it, but I'll see it, let's do business. I'll see it, let's do business. So it's kind of like there's a lot of like cross networking between industries that probably doesn't happen day to day. Or, you might go to a networking event and that person won't be there. Let's do business. There's so many people all in one place. Like you see everybody on that day. And I think that's what you really get out of it, is the fact that you will run into everyone. You don't just network with people in your professions. There's like synergy between teams that people start to work together and things. I've mentioned this before, but I had a delegate come last year and she came up to me and was like, I got my job from Let's Do Business last year.
Yep.
It's that kind of thing that it's not really something you'd think you'd get out of Let's Do Business, but that did happen. And, people form partnerships and start to work together through everything that Let's Do Business is and what it brings to your business.
So
the other nice thing,
Go on, carry on.
You get your real-time feedback as well. So you're actually, instead of just pushing an offer out, you're able to speak to the consumers and say, this is my product or service, and you can get that real-time feedback from that potential customer, which is nice, and it's something that they're not getting every day as well.
Yeah, so it's almost like there's a lot of hidden opportunities, which again, you might not necessarily first think of if you're going to attend something like this. And something there that's just triggered actually is when we're saying about this community and everyone's saying, oh, I'll see you at Let's Do Business, whether it's 24, 25, or I'll see you next year at Let's Do Business. some of these connections that you might have, you might be following their journey. For example, we're all aware of this here, of marketing and social media. You might be following their journey perhaps on social media, but you haven't actually had that interaction face-to-face for a long time. And I think, as daft as it might sound, but I think that's actually quite a nice thing as well, where you can actually catch up face-to-face, like you say.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and the fact that when we did Let's Do Business in 2022, it was mine and Tom's first Let's Do Business, and it just, all of the stands sold out really quickly. And we were kind of a bit like, well, what's all of a sudden changed? Why have we got such a demand for Let's Do Business? I think it really was that post-COVID, people want to be out, they want to meet businesses, they want to do things, they want that connection, because with people working more and more from home, like you say, you don't, you'll speak to them on social media, you know, you'll send them an email, but you don't really see people as much as you used to. And I think that's where a lot of growth has come from, is post-COVID. Businesses want to get out, want to shout about all the amazing things that they're doing through Staffordshire. And that's what you can do with Let's Do Business.
And then, so you're exhibiting, right? You're exhibiting, you want to be noticed, you might have all your marketing collateral, but how else could a business actually really make an impression, that first impression when someone's walking around and looking at everybody else?
I think if you can be interactive and offer some kind of value for people, so a really good stand that springs to mind is iCreation last year. We're offering free headshots.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a headshot. Great value for people, and obviously they're getting the leads there and then they're emailing people, so I think that was really good. I think probably perhaps seeing it as a bit of an elevator pitch, because there's 160 stands?
167 stands this year, yeah.
People aren't going to spend all day with you, so it's how you can convey your message in a short amount of time is quite good. And probably just don't overthink it, don't overclutter the table with collateral, and just try and keep it quite concise.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you say, from an interactive point of view, we see year on year people doing different things. So we have like spin the wheel quite a lot. You know, Business Lodge had a grabber machine last year. Somebody this year has emailed me to ask whether they can bring a whack-a-mole machine.
No, I'm going to stop you, Kelly. Whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole, just in case nobody knows what one is. What is a whack-a-mole?
Now I've got to try and describe it. It's a game where there's holes and the mole will come up and you whack it down.
So you used to see them at the fun fair.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's quite
typically.
Interactive.
Yeah.
Light-hearted.
Yeah.
I'd have a go at it.
Yeah.
It's a bit different. It's, you know, something you don't always see on every single stand.
Yeah.
And, you know, tend to be the stands that get a lot of people around them because they're interacting and stuff. And I think another thing I'd say is make sure you're really warm and welcoming. Don't stand behind your stand. You know, there is the space behind. We have put chairs behind, but stand in front of your stand, be welcoming. Make sure, you know, you're speaking to people as they walk past and you're making that eye contact with them and enticing them into your stand. That's how you make the most out of it, definitely.
Yeah, it's not a hard pitch ultimately.
Yeah. It's a bit of an icebreaker, isn't it? You know?
Effectively. So if there's little things that you can do, to get people to come up to you and be interactive, I think that really helps.
And I'm just going to ask you, go back again, when we mentioned at the beginning, if somebody is visiting, and even if they've been before or you know, they've never been before, because I know you've mentioned the different halls and everything, but when you come in, that first part, what is that hall and where do you go from there? Is it, do you follow a route round? Or do you pick and choose yourself? Or?
Yeah, so as they come in, there's a big reception desk, so the whole team will be there to greet them, and we kind of just go through the basics of the day, and we'll provide them with a exhibitor map, and we have a feature focus this year that will be
special edition feature focus magazine themed around the event. So
they'll get a little bit of context behind the speakers and the exhibitors that are going to be there. But we just kind of guide them through the day. I would always recommend going up to Hall C first, predominantly because Nespresso are exhibiting up there, so you can get your free coffee before you go round. So I'd always do upstairs first, and then you can come down the middle, and then you can choose which way you go. A lot of people will do B and then do A because it's kind of the natural course, really. But we're always on hand. There's loads of people. Staffordshire Chambers have a stand in Hall B as well, so anybody that does get a little bit lost or overwhelmed will be greeted by the friendly
We'll be there in a
branded
hoodies, so just look out for us.
Branded hoodies, yeah.
Branded hoodies?
Yes, for the first time.
I was going to say.
We tried T-shirts last year and it was absolutely freezing, so we've upgraded to hoodies this year.
You've got the budget.
Are you giving them away as well? Oh, maybe.
It gives an idea now.
I know.
Then the only other thing really is obviously the speakers. So they're in the
marquee.
In the marquee.
And that's at the far end of the racecourse.
Yeah.
So it's recently renovated. It's where we held the awards. It's a really good
Yes.
space. I don't know if we have the timings for that yet, do we?
Not quite yet, but they'll be coming out shortly.
Are they normally spread out throughout the day or the afternoon, the keynote speakers?
So we usually do the keynote speakers in the morning, because then hopefully by the time the keynotes are finished, you can kind of get your lunch and head round the stands in the afternoon, or dip in and out as some people do.
I'm glad you mentioned lunch there as well. So I was just going to come on as well and ask you about the facilities that are actually going to be available for anybody, whether they're exhibiting or even, visiting, attending. Do you know roughly what kind of facilities will be available this year?
Yeah, so for the exhibitors, they have a separate lunch on the other side of the marquee. And then for people that are attending, they can, Hoops Cafe and Utoxa really look after their guests. So they'll have loads of different food options, hot, cold, available all day as well.
And we've talked a lot about, exhibitors and how to stand out on their stand and different marketing collateral, should I say. But if you are visiting as well, is there any tips you can sort of suggest for anybody who is coming along on what they perhaps should even bring with them, or what they can say, or how they can open conversations?
I'd bring quite a lot of business cards, because obviously you've got the giveaways on each desk. Chuck a business card in there. I think it's really big on LinkedIn, so obviously social media side of it, as well as doing your traditional networking, as I've said, make sure you're connecting with people at the end of the day. We're going to give out some sort of bags, aren't we, on the way in for delegate packs. So they'll be available at reception. I think it's just one of them things where you get from it what you make of it. So if it was me, I'd do my LinkedIn post before. I'd say I'm here. If I've got a stand, I'd be doing updates saying come and see me on B17 or whatever it might be. We do get a lot of love on LinkedIn for it, don't we? To be fair.
Definitely. And we've got the big photo opportunities. You come in the main doors as well. We've got a big light box there, so a lot of people take photos there and spread that all over social media as well. But like Tom says, definitely bring your business cards, because the amount of people that come without them and then they can't enter any of the competitions and things, and there's some really great prizes that the stands have on. So it's a great opportunity to get a little bit of a prize, but again with the networking opportunities. I think definitely with that.
And again, just before you go, I'm just going to ask you again how the Expo has grown. We have touched on it. But like you said, last year you opened up, was it Hall C last year for the first time down there at Utoxa Racecourse. And this year it sounds like things are going to be even bigger and better. And then what's next? Is that even a thought yet?
So this is the thing, it's always what's next. Every single year after it's finished, it's like, what can we do to make it bigger and better? And as I mentioned, we've kind of in the past couple of years seen some massive growth, from 2022, especially to last year, where last year we sold out the stands in record number time, and we had a waiting list of people desperate to get stands. We were like, well, what can we do? And we were already working with Utoxa Racecourse on making their marquee bigger and having that renovated, because we were using it for our awards. And because that space launched just in time for Let's Do Business. So Let's Do Business was the first event that took place in that marquee.
Wow.
But it meant that we could move the speakers out of other space into the marquee to separate it completely, and freed up the space upstairs to add exhibitors to, which I was very scared about, because we only launched them, I think, 3 or 4 weeks out from the actual expo by the time we got it all sorted. But we sold them all, and it's been amazing. It just means that this year we've got even more, 167. But yeah, I know the question will be, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah, we're just thinking about this year for the time being, aren't we?
Yeah, thinking about this
We'll let you
year.
off.
Yeah. Well, we've only just announced Nathan Heaney.
Yes.
And we were at record number of delegate tickets already, so it's going to be an exciting year. I think there's a couple of stands left in Hall C if anyone's interested in some last minute ones. But it's one of our biggest events, isn't it? So
Yes. What else can we do? I mean, there is additional space at Utoxa for us to expand even further. But yeah, the main thing is just making sure it's the best day it can possibly be.
And, obviously we've mentioned Utoxa Racecourse as well, and how many years you've been going there as well for the Expo. I mean, that relationship then has obviously flourished by doing this.
Yeah, no, definitely. We have an amazing relationship with Utoxa, and it's just a great place to hold our events, just because of how centralised it is really for everyone. So, anybody can get to it quite easily, as long as the A50 isn't blocked. But it's quite central, so we can get businesses from all over the whole of Staffordshire to attend, rather than being more Stoke based.
Yeah, and you've got the train station right there as well.
Exactly,
haven't you?
yeah.
Utoxa, right. Just before you go then, one last question. to both of you to answer separately. Number one top tip, Tom, if there's one thing that really sticks out, whether it's for an exhibitor or it's someone visiting, attending the Let's Do Business Expo on the 9th of October, what's your number one top tip?
I'd say go into it with an open mind, because you don't know which businesses you're going to meet. It could be a construction firm that's got some kind of opportunity to partner with you. It could be a drainage firm that needs help with some kind of new installation. You never know what you're going to get from it, so just have the conversations, spend as long as you can there, and make the most out of your day.
Kelly, what about you? Have you got a number one top tip?
Yeah, be interactive and be fun. I think if you go along that, you won't do much wrong.
And maybe have a whack-a-mole.
Maybe, yeah. or a dartboard.
Or a
Something.
dartboard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Magnetic darts, of course.
Okay, I was just going to say,
Health and safety.
let's be careful here, Kelly. Okay, so if anyone is listening out there and they do want to know whether it's to learn more about the Expo, who's going to be attending, or even if there is any last minute stands, where do they need to look? Where can they find you?
So it's staffordshirechambers.co.uk/let's-do-business.
Okay.
You can book the delegate tickets for free through Eventbrite. The Eventbrite link is on the page, and the stand spaces are on there too, aren't they?
Yeah, you can click on the map and see what stands are available, and you can book through there. But as always, if anybody has any inquiries, they can reach out to us and the team.
Is there a deadline actually for booking on, or do you just run right up until the day?
From a delegate point of view, we let that run right up into, and if you haven't booked on, you can still come. We'll still have plenty of availability for you on the day. From a stand holder point of view, ideally the week before, but we do accept stands right up until, as long as you've got obviously everything together for your stand.
Tom, Kelly, thank you so much for coming in here on Business Spotlight. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing day. I can't wait to be there. So yeah, I wish you all the best, and I wish you all the best for the years to come as well, on how it's going to get bigger and better and bolder.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you, Sonia.
That's Tom Hammersley, Marketing Manager, and Kelly Edwards, Head of Events and Facilities at Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce, here on Business Spotlight with me, Sonia Farrell.
Business Spotlight from Cross Rhythms and Baba Baboon, sponsored by Staffordshire Chambers of Commerce. Join over 1,000 delegates at Uttoxeter Racecourse on the 9th of October for the Let's Do Business Expo by booking your free ticket today.